Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are building an AI-powered threat intelligence system using Wazuh. So we have Wazuh with us, and we are going to integrate a Wazuh with open source LLM. So in this we will be seeing like how we can integrate or how we can set up our own Ollama in our own machines. If we have a good machines available with a good GPU, CPU and memory, then we can set up our own local offline LLM models, and we can utilize that and integrate that with our Wazuh. Or if you don't have a good system available, then what we can do is we can go and find some open source or free available LLMs which we can integrate with our Wazuh, and we can utilize that for analysis purposes, right? So here I am going to utilize an open router uh, LLM, and using that open router key I am going to set up my own threat hunting AI chatbot. So by the end of this video, you will understand how you can create your own chatbot and integrate with your own LLMs, or you can integrate with third-party LLMs and you can utilize it for threat hunting purposes. So this is not a theory. We are going to set it up in our local environment. I will go and show it to you live how I have done the setup on for that, and I have taken a reference from the Wazuh portal itself. I've taken the script from the Wazuh portal, which was created by Mr. Farouk Musa. I have done the modification to that particular script so that I can utilize the open router API key, and I am going to utilize that. So if you want to go and straight away utilize the same uh, script which is being provided by the Mr. Farouk Musa on Wazuh dashboard or Wazuh portal, then you can utilize that directly. So here you can see this is the URL, and the requirements are simple. Basically, we want one Wazuh dashboard or Wazuh server which has Wazuh server indexer and dashboard. So this you can run it on your local virtual box or any of your local system. Then we require one in Ubuntu endpoint, which is an agent which is connected to your Wazuh server. We also require one Windows 11 endpoint where we have Wazuh agent installed, right? So this is just for the testing purposes, where we can go and do some attacks and we can analyze those logs using a chatbot. So how to do the setup? So it is very simple. So these are the steps which we need to follow. Let us go and deep dive how we can go and configure that in our Wazuh server. So first of all, we need to go and check log into our Wazuh server, and we have to verify whether the osec.conf file is logging your logs or not, right? So here you can see log all. It is by default no, so you have to make sure it is yes. It should be logged in JSON, so that also needs to be yes, right? So the JSON formats will be read by the chatbot, and then based on that, it is going to give you the output, right? So just make these changes and save and quit. Once it is done, you can go and restart your Wazuh services, Wazuh manager services. So it can go and take the effect. Once it is done, then you can follow these particular steps if you want to go and set up your own local language model. So you can set up Ollama on your Ubuntu machine. So for this, if you have a good machine available, as I said, if you have good machine available on the Wazuh itself, right? So you can install this on Wazuh server directly, where you have good CPU, memory, and GPU. So this is the command. You can follow this. Once it is done, you can pull this Llama 3 model. It will be stored on your local. It is, I think, 4.7 GB. So for that, you will also require a good internet connection so that it gets downloaded fast. Once it is done, you can go and install this apt install Python and Python pip, right? So these are the packages which are required. Then there are certain Python dependencies which is required to run this particular model or the script. So just follow this, copy this particular command, and just install this in your machine, right? So once it is done, you can go and create threathunter.py file, and the location should be var osec integrations. So this, we are doing this installation on your Wazuh server itself. So if you want to go and set up your Ollama on Wazuh server itself, then follow this particular step. Once this is done, you can go and start Ollama, and the py file, threathunter.py file, should contain this particular script. So you can copy this script and you can paste it in threathunter.py, right? So I have already created a py file. Let me show you that file. So this is my .py file. So I have done the modification. I have not utilized the same exact same file which is provided on Wazuh. Right. I have done the modification so that I can utilize the open source available model, which is an open router models. Why I have done this? Because my system is not having enough CPU and memory and GPU. I have tried installing the Ollama, but the response which I am getting, it was very slow. I have to sit almost for 30-40 minutes. After that, I get a response. So my system was not supporting. So I have modified this particular script so that I can go and utilize the third party or open source model which are available. Just by putting your key, I can go and utilize that particular model, right? So this is the script. I will put it on my GitHub and I will share the links on my video chat. So you can go through this particular link and you can utilize this entire script for your purposes, right? So in this script, just update this particular username and password. This is basically the username and password for the chatbot, which is getting created by this particular script. So, and this is going to get started on port 8000. So let me show you that as well. So this is the kind of chat assistance you will get. So when you hit this IP address of Wazuh, I have set it up on Wazuh server itself, and port number is 8000. So here you can see the chatbot is running. So for this login, you will require that particular username and password. So once the setup is done, so once your script is ready, right? So and you have copied that particular script in your Wazuh server. The location should be var osec integration threat hunter.py. You can change the name. You can keep the name whatever you want. Okay, and the script will basically go and create a web services on port number 8000 and the IP address of your machine where you are hosting this particular script, right? So whether it is your Wazuh server or it can be any other server as well. So once your script is ready, you can go and execute this particular script. So the script will do is it will go and execute this web services and it will host on port number 8000. So it is basically hosting your Wazuh chatbot, AI chatbot, which through which you are going to give the different prompts and you can go and analyze different kinds of logs, right? So once you execute that Python script, it is going to give this kind of an output. So here you can see it is going basically starting the process. It is creating the vector store. The chain is getting initialized and your application will be starting, and once the application is started, then you can go and execute or you can go and verify this by accessing your using your IP address and port 8000. So by default, this script loads logs for last 7 days. To modify the timeline, you can go and set up, send the prompt within the chatbot and set the numbers, right? So this is basically configurable. You can just simply write this particular commands and you can /set days and number of days you want to retain the logs, right? So you can keep it 1 day or maybe you can keep it 365 days, and once it is done, you can just reload the vector store to include the newer logs with the time range and send the reload command. So this is also required. So this is required basically for adjusting the timeline, right? Once it is loaded properly, once you have all the database available, you have set the number of days, then you can go and execute this or access the Wazuh chatbot, and you can see this particular chat assistance coming on your system, right? Now this what we have done is we have done the setup on of Ollama on our local system, right? So if you want to go and set up Ollama in a different system, right? If you are not setting up in our own Wazuh server itself and we are setting up on another server, then we have to mention SSH username and password for our Wazuh. So in the script, you must have seen there is one more section which is username and password section. So this is the username and password section for SSH. So basically this username you have to provide it for Wazuh server. So if you're setting up Ollama in a different system, not on the Wazuh server itself, then you have to provide this. Otherwise, if you're setting up on a Wazuh itself, then this can be kept as blank or a default. You can follow these particular steps and you can verify that, right? Now we have to simulate the attacks, right? So we have created one more Ubuntu server, right? So in that we can execute this particular commands and we can try to simulate the attacks and try to do a brute force attack on a Ubuntu machine. So now what we are going to do is we are going to try and simulate the attack. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will just do an attack, a brute force attack on a Ubuntu machine or on our Wazuh machine itself. So I'm just starting on my Ubuntu machine and I'm trying to access or trying to do a brute force to my Wazuh server. So this is my Wazuh server IP address. So I'm putting a wrong password and a wrong username and try to send an attack. So here you can see permission is denied, permission is denied. So I've sent many attacks, right? So if you want to go and see such attacks, you have to go and verify the logs of Wazuh machine and you have to log into the console, or maybe you can get an alerts on your system, right? So once you get an alert on your system, you go and verify those kind of logs, and after that you will get to know that this many attacks are coming on your system, right? So if you have an LLMs or maybe an AI configured in your system, so what you can do is you can simply go and give a prompt. So this is the kind of a prompt which you can share. Are there any SSH brute force attempts against my endpoint or any other suspicious SSH event such as multiple failed logins by valid or invalid users? If yes, then provide me the details of the event. So we can simply copy this particular prompt and we can put it in our chat. So here you can see I have already given this particular prompt. So you can give this kind of a prompt, and based on that it is going to give you the output like multiple sessions from the same IP address. There are multiple entries of user Wazuh us from IP address, this particular IP address, terminal, PTS0 and PTS2. While this might be legitimate, the frequency and the variety of logins of the same users and the same IP address could be potential indicator of automation or a proxy IP. So there are 3 instances in a short period between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on 27th of June, right? So I've done this and based on that, it has given me this kind of an alert, right? So similar way, you can give the prompt like, give me a summary of logs. So based on that, you can get the summary of logs of the entire day. So if you have, let's say, hundreds of machine, it can summarize all the logs and it will give you the brief output from those logs. So this is the simplest way. You can go and leverage AI, integrate AI with Wazuh, and instead of going and manually troubleshooting or manually digging down your logs, you can go and just giving a prompt, you can analyze different kinds of logs for different kind of systems, right? So if you want to go and analyze for specific particular IP address, you can provide the prompt in such a way that it will go and only analyze the logs for that particular machine or IP addresses. Let me tell you one more thing. So when we integrate an AI or when we are integrating some AI models, we just need to verify the logs, what actually AI is providing the output, and we can also verify those logs whether it is accurate or not. Why? Because LLMs can hallucinate. They can sometimes state the things confidently that are not accurate. Every response this AI gives should be verified against the raw logs. Second, the model can give different answers to the same questions. If the results surprise you, ask again, rephrase your prompt, and also verify the logs. The third most important thing, this is a complement to your Wazuh or your existing detection rules, not the replacement. Your rules are fast and deterministic. The AI is flexible and explanatory. We can utilize both to analyze, evaluate, and fine tune our environment and make sure our environment is safe and secure. All right, that is it for this particular video. Let us wrap up what we have accomplished today, what we have seen today. So we have installed, we have seen how we can go and set up Ollama on a local system. And if you want to set up your own Ollama on a local machine, we will require a production grade machine or a good system with a good CPU and GPU configurations available. So that the Ollama, the local models can run perfectly and give you the faster output. And if you do not have the good system, then you can utilize the third party or freely available open models where you can get the keys and you can integrate those keys with your chatbot and you can integrate with Wazuh, right? So we have built a threat hunting system that reads your Wazuh archive logs, convert them into a semantic vector database, and lets you run query in a plain English, right? So you can give your out prompt, and based on that, it will give you the output, right? So we have simulated the real attacks, SSH brute force from Linux to Wazuh server, and we have seen the output, what we have given, what we have got from the chatbot. And we have also seen the another prompt, which is summarize the logs for the entire day. So it has summarized the entire log for that particular day, and it has given the output in a chatbot. So the last point is what I want to make it to you away from this video is the future of threat detection isn't just faster rule writing. It is giving your team the ability to ask questions of their own data naturally, quickly, and without needing a query language or a data science background, right? So it should be in a simple language what they speak. Those prompts can be given to the AI, and based on that, they can analyze and evaluate the logs, right? So this is what AI augmented security operations look like, and you can run it today, right? So if you find this video helpful, do one thing: just hit a like button. It helps this channel to grow further, and it helps to reach more and more people. Subscribe if you have not already done that. Drop a comment and tell me what the biggest real threat hunting challenge in your environment right now. I read every comments, and I will try to respond if you have any queries in this particular video or in this particular process. The full Python script, all the command from today, and the architecture diagram, everything is linked in the description below. I will share my GitHub link so that you can go and download this particular script and you can execute in your environment. Try. Keep learning, keep building, and keep evolving. See you in the next video. Thank you.